Yeah.
I mean, I think you were thinking on the wavelength I was for a reason, is that, you know, you obviously have had a lot of stuff going on when you were young. And you were a very beautiful young girl, and you were in the modelling game, and an easy target for these kind of people. Do you think it affected the way you treated men or behaved towards them in some way?
No, I don't hate men at all. I mean, and I wouldn't change my past at all because it's made me the person I am now.
You trust them?
I would never trust a man 100%. Because girls didn't really like me when I was younger, so I sort of hung around with guys, and so I know what guys are like to their girlfriends or wives, and so I see it from a different side to make me think I'm never trusting a man, that's why. Well, but I definitely know and put my hand on my heart that Pete hasn't cheated. I'd like to say he wouldn't cheat, but it's men, isn't it? You're human beings, and sometimes your brains are in the wrong area. So,
what would you do if he did?
It'd be over. But that's the same with me. If I cheated, it'd be over.
I mean, has Pete restored your faith in men, do you think?
Definitely. You know, he's made me put my barriers down with him. I'm completely myself in it, so I don't have to put on an act. I'm just my absolute self. I think you know when you're comfy with someone, it's when you don't have to worry about your makeup. You can put your trackie on, you can just be yourself, and that's how I think you're comfortable with a guy.
And have you enjoyed being a model? If you had your time again, would you do it again?
Definitely, love it. I absolutely love posing in front of the camera.
Tell me about some of the early modelling shoots you did down in Brighton.
I'd done some snapshots on the beach. Yeah, that was it. My friend took that.
How old are you there?
17. Completely now. Oh my God, look how high I got them pants. That is great. And that bangle there, oh my God.
But small-town modelling wasn't quite enough for you, was it? You were ready to unleash Jordan onto the world.
I didn't think she would do it. Not when she was 13, 14, no, because she was pretty, but she was still gangly.
Katie may not have been born to be a glamour model, but after a London agent saw pictures of her on Hove Beach, she hit page 3. Initially in lingerie, but quickly progressing to topless photos.
When Kate made it to, well, I don't know what you call making it, is getting your tits out on a national paper. Once you've arrived there, you've made it. You know, you're just looking through the paper and then, Mum, what's Kate doing on page 3? You know, I was completely unaware that she'd got the opportunity.
Must have been about 6 or 7 when she started doing page 3. Watching his sister stand there naked, I was a bit like, whoa. But no, it's cool.
I never told anyone that she was doing anything because I didn't really, at that time, I didn't really think nothing of it. And then I went in the next day and she was as a screensaver in the office. So my credibility was that then.
It was to get worse. The size of Katie's breasts became a national issue, and her insecurities began to get the better of her.
She always regarded herself as being flat-chested when she was at school. Through that kind of insecurity, maybe she got picked on at school, bullied, boyfriends might have made her feel insecure. The only way to go around that would be through surgery. As a brother, I wasn't sure at first, really. I wasn't too keen.
Well, how would you feel if it was your daughter? She shouldn't have, never, ever have had it done. She was beautiful the way she was. But to her, you know, it sort of made her more sort of complete, I think, because I suppose in her eyes she was a lot smaller, but to our eyes she was perfect.
How do you feel hearing that from your family?
Oh, I've heard it all before. They always have a go at me.
I suppose the point I would make after that is that most people would assume that you having the boob op was a sort of cynical thing, a commercial thing to make money. And yet the strong feeling from your family is that it was about insecurity on your part about the way you looked.
Oh, honestly, I was really flat. Oh, well, I won't say, because some people are that size, but to me, it was flat. It was a B, which they say 34B is a perfect size. I don't know, I just didn't feel complete unless I had a pair of boobs.
You see, the weird thing is you looked at that photograph of yourself on the beach and you thought you looked good there.
Yeah.
And yet, at the time, you were already thinking you looked terrible and had to have an operation.
But you don't know what I had stuffed in my bra on that beach, do you? But no, I always knew that I'd have my boobs done, so I went to have my boobs done when I was 16. And they said, you can't have it done until you've got your mum's signature. I asked my mum, she's like, no way, you're not having it done. So as soon as I was old enough, I went and had it done.
And how much did it cost you?
Got it free.
How come?
Because I'm a good talker and a good bargainer.
Well, hang on, what were you offering to get that free, then?
A free spread and to say where I got it done.
Right. So even then, in your teenage years, you're a sharp business cookie, aren't you?
But if you don't ask, you don't get.
Did part of you do the operation because you thought you could get a spread in the papers?
No, because actually everyone was telling me not to do it, and they had a poll in the Sun, and I can't remember the exact percentage, but they all said don't do it. And I had photographers phoning me up saying don't do it, you'll ruin yourself, you know, be natural. So many people were dead against it, but me being me, I was like, no, I've got that seed and I'm doing it, and I did it. So I was either, well, I couldn't do page 3 anymore because they banned it. So, I don't know, it just sort of, it worked in the end, didn't it?
How did you feel immediately afterwards?
Well, when I looked down at them,
yeah.
I thought, oh my God, I've got to have them bigger. They weren't big enough.
What had you gone to?
I can't remember. This is the reason why I had so many boob jobs. It wasn't because if they had done in the first place the last size, then I would have been happy. But because each time I had it done, I was like, oh my God, they don't look that much different to the other one. That's why I ended up having so many, if that makes sense. If they just put a big implant in to begin with, then I would have been happy. But they didn't.
How many have you now had?
I don't know. 4.
You've had 4 or 5 operations?
Yeah, something like that.
Just
yeah.
on your, what other surgery have you had?
I had, because I couldn't be bothered to go to the gym when I was about 21, I had a bit of lipo, which I don't advise anyone to do because it kills and it didn't work. Well, it didn't work on me anyway. Waste of money, and I had the wrong attitude just because I had the money. I thought I could get it sucked out. So I tried that, and what else? Botox, do you regard that as surgery?
I don't know, do you? How much do you have? Looks pretty,
every 6 months.
It's
Look,
pretty
my
tight
face
up
don't
there.
move. Look.
It doesn't move at all, does it?
Or is it? My eyebrows going up. And then I had my nose done. Oh, actually, it does sound like I've had a lot when I sit here and talk about it.
How much was the nose?
I don't know. Pete paid for it.
He's very generous, Pete, isn't he?
People don't realise that. He buys me loads of things.
But is he quietly changing you in the process?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't like me to have any surgery.
What about your lips? They look a bit suspicious.
Oh, I look like a duck at the minute. I had them done when I was...
is that collagen, is that?
Oh, it's not permanent. I'd never, ever, ever have permanent stuff in my lips. But in America, you know what it's like out there. You know, they do it a bit extra more than over here, and they do look a bit ducky at the minute, Daffy Duck. But once they go down, I won't do them again.
I mean, despite all the surgery, you actually still look relatively normal. I've seen a lot worse.
Because I haven't really done my face. I've had my nose done and Botox. All right, and pump my lips, but that's not... They're going to go down. Right, say my lips go down and I have no Botox, then I've just had my nose done. But it was all right before.
You see, some would say you were a beautiful girl to start with. Why are you doing
I
all
wasn't
this?
ugly.
So why do all this?
Well, you only live once. I don't know. I definitely haven't got a problem with it, even though some of you go, yes, you have, you nutter. But at least I talk about it. It doesn't bother me.
How much do you think you've spent in total on surgery?
Well, Pete bought it. Apart from that, free.
What's it cost to get the new Jordan?
Well, I haven't had that much. Boobs, well, I don't know how much they are, really. What are they, £3,500?
I haven't done it for a while. I wouldn't know, sorry.
I don't know, I think they're about £3,500.
And the nose?
I know that my nose and my boobs come to about $15,000. So I don't know what the exchange was then.
It's not good at the moment.
No,
Getting quite
but I
expensive.
think I've got a good deal. Pete got a good deal for me.
And have you stopped now? Is that enough?
Oh, I don't need anything now. No.
Let's go back to when you were 19, when the Jordan phenomenon really sort of created itself.
Yeah.
And, you know, it really was based around you. I was editing the papers at the time. You were out all the time in the clubs and the parties.
But what else was I supposed to do at that age? I was only doing what everyone else was doing, but the pictures they would use, even now, it really annoys me, actually. If I go out